Be confidence behind him. My Prospero at 12 to 1, Royal Rhyme at 16, Point Lonsdale at 18 to 1. The Champion Stakes with Richard Hiles.
King of Steel and Sistina on either flank are the last two in for this Qipco Champion Stakes. 10 furlongs and they leave the stalls. Sistina is steadied from the outside stall, Point Lonsdale being bustled up and is one of the first to show, with Royal Rhyme also going forward and My Prospero between that pair and the three of them. A little bit of helter-skelter for the lead. Dubai Honour races in fourth place in the blue colours. Last year's winner Bay Bridge in the red and blue. Horizon Dore races next in the green and yellow with Sistina, and King of Steel has been settled right at the back by Frankie Dettori as they run downhill towards Swinley Bottom. Beginning the turn, Point Lonsdale with My Prospero. First time blinkers racing keenly. Royal Rhyme has backed off the battle for the lead and now sits in third place in the yellow and black with Bay Bridge on the outside of Dubai Honour as they begin the turn. Then Horizon Dore, who races in sixth, and King of Steel has relegated Sistina to be the back marker. So 6 uphill furlongs remain, and out in the lead My Prospero, within second Royal Rhyme. Point Lonsdale struggling to hold the position, getting in the way of Dubai Honour, who's just being shuffled back as Bay Bridge on the outside improves past that one. And Dubai Honour, James Dore, got a bit of a problem at the moment, trying to get off the rail off the back of Point Lonsdale, who's going nowhere at present. On his outside is Horizon Dore holding him in with Sistina, and King of Steel also is going to have to work his way through a little bit of traffic with half a mile to go. It's My Prospero who leads the Champion Stakes field into the final turn. In second place, Royal Rhyme, Bay Bridge well placed. Point Lonsdale still proving a menace for Dubai Honour. King of Steel being ridden at the back. Sistina tries to keep closer in company with Horizon Dore. Heads a turn for home and Royal Rhyme goes to My Prospero. Bay Bridge on the outside, Horizon Dore and Sistina now loom up. King of Steel is pulled towards the outside. A furlong and a half to go. Horizon Dore and Sistina are locked together. Behind these Royal Rhyme, King of Steel, Point Lonsdale rallying. It's Sistina, the fair, who takes it up for Oisin Murphy. King of Steel down the outside for Frankie Dettori with half a length to find. 100 yards to go. King of Steel on the outside of Sistina. A certain inevitability about Frankie Dettori and King of Steel winning the Champion Stakes. Sistina gave her all. Horizon Dore, Point Lonsdale, My Prospero and Royal Rhyme. King of Steel from last to first has won and sent Frankie Dettori off into potential retirement. He may well be back, who knows, but on the day he's ridden 2 big winners on Champions Day. Sistina gave her all, was run down as Horizon Dore holds on for third from Point Lonsdale. Royal Rhyme couldn't see it through. Dubai Honour found Point Lonsdale a pest, although Point Lonsdale ran away from him again in the final 2 furlongs. And last year's winner Bay Bridge, one of the last to cross the line. King of Steel for Frankie Dettori. Certainly don't forget Roger Varian, and Ammo Racing means that Frankie Dettori, in what may well be his last ride in this country, bows out on a win.
And the stampede begins to the winner's enclosure to see that flying dismount, possibly for the final time. If ever the crowd lifted home a horse, that was it. The noise was absolutely deafening. There's only one Frankie Dettori is being sung around the stands here at Ascot. And we said earlier in the year, Francesca, the scriptwriter is playing a blinder. Well, the scriptwriter's just written the perfect finale.
And my dad always says Frankie was born under a lucky star, and you kind of kept thinking that the scriptwriter couldn't keep writing the script so perfectly, with the win in the Guineas, win in the Oaks, winners at Royal Ascot, including the Gold Cup, big winners in France, Mosterdaf at York, and then look at him here on his final day. You kind of thought 5 rides, lot of pressure, last day. I think himself he was feeling it as well. Only goes and rides the winner of the first race, and then this on his final ride, he manages to get aboard King of Steel. Didn't look promising in the early stages of Dell, and then just ground his way to the winning line, and it was magnificent.
Drink this in, Frankie. Drink this in. Cheers reverberating around the grandstands. And full marks too to Ammo Racing for Kia Jarabchan, King of Steel has that Group 1. That will mean the world to them. Roger Varian wins this for the first time. And full credit to the horse, Adele. That some performance on a day when you've needed to be on the front, he's gone from last to first.
I'm sorry, Frankie can't have all the credit there because this horse deserves a Group 1. And do you know what? I was a little bit worried. I thought he doesn't look like he's enjoying the ground, but I actually think he was better being ridden off the bridle. Frankie Dettori, class act. He didn't panic on him at all, did he, when he kind of felt like he probably wasn't enjoying the ground, but he just kept him balanced, kept it simple, picked them off, and I love this horse from the very first moment I laid eyes on him, and I thoroughly always thought he would be a Group 1.
He said earlier the thing he'll miss the most is the crowd, and the crowd in particular here at Ascot. They're such a big fan crowd with Frankie's, and when he comes back into the tunnel you can really hear it, can't you? And Frankie said on Trawlerman, I just heard this enormous roar from the crowd and it really helped get the horse home, and I think he's really revving them up here. He's brilliant at it and they love him too.
Well, it's like a football stadium in here. Oh, Frankie Dettori reverberating around, and I tell you what, Frankie, this is a script fit for Hollywood, isn't it?
Only absolutely insane. What a day. After finishing my last ride, winning the Champions Stakes at Ascot, I still have to please myself.
The last time we came out here, I couldn't hear you, so let's soak this up for the final time here at Ascot, we think. This is crazy. I'm sure I speak on behalf of everyone here. Thank you for everything you've given us, Frankie, and well done.
Thank you, everyone. I love you. I miss you.
The horse led up by Beth Dixon. Well done to Raoul de Silva, who rides King of Steel every day. There is Beth on the right. And just a brilliant performance by the horse King of Steel. I'm so thrilled for the horse to now have a Group 1 on his CV. But if ever a sporting occasion didn't need words, just sit back and enjoy this, everyone. He's the king for one more day. Stadium here right now with the atmosphere, and as you said, Adele, typical Frankie to do it like that. Full marks to Roger Varian, who's done so well with this horse. I can't wait for Ruby to watch this back, so I love this horse. He was out the back early on, Francesca, but here he comes.
Well, I'm like Adele said, completely against the pattern of the day. It's been hard to make up ground and early stages. He fairly flopped out of the stalls. He wasn't quick away. Frankie took his medicine. He had to sit out the back, and there were a few horses in front of him not going all that well. Sistina, I suppose, probably helped by taking him into the race, gave him a bit of a lead there. I thought she ran a mighty race. She really grounded out well, but he just was able to use that big, strong stride. And he must have, does he have like better reserves of stamina because he's such a big boy?
Well, I've always kind of pointed out that, you know, the lungs, his lung capacity will be, I'd say, double the size of a normal horse's. And, you know, we're always saying that's where the fuel tank is, that's where your petrol tank is, and that is where his reserves are. And he certainly had plenty left there for the finish.
He looked exhausted. He's about to speak to Mike Catamol and let the people around the racecourse hear what he's got to say. He was so emotional leading into the race, and then before the race, suddenly the game face comes.